Well, Merry Christmas, everybody. Welcome to Sunday Night Charts with Jim of All Trades. The only problem is, guys, I can't do it live with you, unfortunately. I'm still on my hotspot on my phone. I do not have internet connection. I don't have enough bandwidth through a hotspot to do a live. So, unfortunately, this is what you get. We're going to do a video here. I'm going to try to give you some in-depth analysis across the market for the next 20 minutes or so, and hopefully preview it with you or premiere it with you at 8 o'clock. So if you're watching this now, it's probably around 8 o'clock or 8:15 whenever I was able to get it out to you. Don't forget, not financial advice, is showing you how we'll look at the market through an Elliott wave lens. I am an Elliott wave trader. What does that mean? It means I look at the market through the lens of 5s and 3s. I put those 5s and 3s together to make discernible structures that a guy named Elliott found back in the early 1900s, and we get a possible target for where price might be heading. Again, these are possible targets where price might be heading. Those are key indicators there. But we at least can look at the wave structure to see if there's any kind of edge on the market that we can get from looking at the wave structures. With that said, let's jump into the market. All right, let's see what's going on with Bitcoin here, first of all. I don't want to rehearse too much, the macro here. We've got so many different ideas that can be in play here on this macro chart, okay? And I'm just playing it wave by wave for now. Personally, the way I'm currently looking at the market is, I go back and forth. But right now, my primary idea is that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there. That's what we're going to call the ending wave for the previous move on the market. In other words, the Bitcoin move ended right here. This is the end of wave 3. Now, this is what do you call it? It's a Bybit here, so I don't have all the data here. It's probably not the greatest chart to be on for a macro term, but anyway, we can see that this is probably the end of wave 3. It's at least my idea. That means what I believe we've done is we've begun a larger macro wave 4. Okay, so I think this was the fifth wave of this 5-wave move was the this 5-wave move was the fifth wave of a larger third wave. That means we're probably going to be in a sideways trend for quite a while. Okay, that's going to be going sideways and up and down for quite a while in ways that we're going to have a hard time tracking. It's going to be a challenge to track and to discern. It's gonna be difficult. We're gonna have to really navigate it well using our skills. But basically, the way I'm looking at this here is that this has come down in 3 waves right there. Okay, now this has gone up. I'm looking for this to finish a 3-wave move to the downside before we get another up move like that. So I'm looking for a 3-wave move to come back to retest, and that's kind of where we are on the macro. Okay, I don't want to get too much farther than that, because I've got a couple other counts here that basically say, well, listen, this could be some kind of an. I could nullify what I just said here. This could be some kind of an impulse down. This could be a 3-wave move back, and we could get a deeper target. There's some counts that say that. I've got another count that says, hey, this is a wave 2. This was a wave 1 right here, so we get rid of this and call it a 1 wave, and then this is wave 2, and then we could be making a much bigger wave to the upside impulsively. We could be going up impulsively after that. Okay, every one of those counts that I just shared with you, absolutely look at those waves in different ways from a macro perspective. But what they all do together is that they want to make this move right here, right there, this move to the upside. Okay, it seems the best I can tell that we need to make this move to the upside to come back and retest these areas, probably close a CME gap for those of you that like to trade the CME gaps. But I don't think we came low enough on this particular wave to really finish it out, to finish out this middle wave on the inside. So basically, where I am right now is I've got several ideas for the macro chart. I don't know that I want to spend a lot of time talking about that. Maybe I'll bring a video, really just bring later on this week, really talking about those macro ideas with you. But for now, let's just talk about the tradable moves that we might be making in Bitcoin over this next, I don't know, this next week or so, and to see if there's anything there. If you see me looking over here at the screen, this is where my trading computer is, and so I'm just keeping an eye on a trade there. I'm currently short in Ethereum, and I'm just keeping an eye on that guy. So I'm in profit, but I want to make sure it develops into profit the way I like. So anyway, with that said, so let's look in here. I want to zoom in now and say, okay, what am I expecting right in here? What do I want to see here? Okay, let's go to the 1 hour chart. That might be good. I'm going to remove everything off the chart here, except that diagonal. I'm kind of looking at this wave as a diagonal, and that kind of helps us look at the grander structure a little bit. So I'm looking at this as maybe a C wave, okay, something like this. Some kind of a diagonal wave. It's ugly. There's no doubt about it. But it is what it is, right? And so if that's a diagonal, then that's got to be doing something as an impulse wave. It's got to be acting as an impulse wave. And the way I'm seeing it currently is that this could be an A, that could be a B, and this could be a C. Actually, I'm going to bring my A down here. So I got 3 waves up, and then I've got this flat here. This is actually challenging little delineation here. I'm going to put it right there. Yeah, I think that'd be all right. We'd have to look at this wave as 3 waves, and that's a challenging way to look at that wave, but nevertheless, we're looking at this whole thing as a 3-wave move to the upside. This is one possibility, okay? That means the way we'd be looking at this, the wave that began, as we'd be looking at this as 3 waves as well. An ABC, and then an ABC. And this ABC came back and retested this top, came back 90%, and we would expect probably an impulse down, or at least 3 waves down to the downside from here. So we're going to call this a W wave. That first ABC is a larger W wave. This is a larger X wave, and now we're looking for the Y wave, okay? Or it's a larger ABC, okay, which is A, B, C. Now, what's the difference between those two counts? Whether we get 5 waves to the downside or 3 waves to the downside. Does it come down impulsively as 5 waves? And that would look something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is my favorite count right now. It's kind of what this does. This wave, I think, got everybody bullish. Why did this wave get everybody bullish here, guys? Well, because people were drawing this trend line right here. People were drawing this wedge right there. I don't think that's a wedge at all. I don't think that's any kind of kind of a descending wedge that is now going to continue breaking to the upside. Excuse me, though it totally could be. What I think it is it was designed to get the market pretty bullish. They broke through it, retested it, continued on. But now, if you'll notice this structure that I drew right here, they've broken out of it, and now they're retesting it to the downside. Okay, so it is possible that was simply the C wave. Okay, this impulse was the C wave of this ABC and this larger ABC. So if I remove all this noise here from the count, we just get a basic, an ABC, and looking for 5 waves to the downside. Pulling the fibs on that guy to get a target on that, if this is a correct count, if this is right. I don't know if it's right, guys. It's just an idea to think about as an Elliott wave trader. Please, if you don't know how to trade Elliott wave, if you don't understand what we're doing here and offering ideas, if you think I'm here predicting the market, you don't understand what I'm doing, okay? I'm not here to predict the market. That's not what we're doing at all. What we're actually doing is looking at the current structure that I have and saying, based on that, what larger structure could that be a part of? Where is that in the puzzle? Okay, and so we're trying to figure out the puzzle as it's being developed, and we're using wave structure to develop that puzzle. Okay, so this is one idea that would make sense of this current wave structure here. We'd be coming down in 3 waves, getting back down here at about 43K, 44K in that ballpark. Those targets we've been looking for quite a while. And then that would be a 3-wave down. Then we'd be looking for our larger wave to the upside. So in other words, we'd be watching for another impulse to the upside. And overall, we would have then some kind of a 3-wave move like this. And that's what we'd be watching for. And we would be looking for this to come back to the golden zone retrace area. So we can pull the fibs like that. Golden zone here. Yeah. Gets us here to 58. Gets us back here to 58. 57K, 58K in that ballpark there if it wicks through it. If it gets all the way to the 786, you're looking at 61.5 area, okay? But that would be a three-wave move back to retest the top areas here. Okay, that would get the market very, very bullish in a three-wave move here. Okay, we would have counts that would be taking us up to the upside there. So we would have counts that would keep us going, and we'll have to look at the nature of this wave as it develops to see where we would expect price to go. Whether it would just go up in 5 waves back to this golden zone with a following expectation of a downward move after that, or we'd expect higher highs to be made here. We'd have to wait and see. Those are some ideas we have. Okay, so that's the basic idea I'm still looking at. It's still valid. It's very similar to last week, except we're not staying in this channel like we were last week, and with a simple correction. It's actually become a complex correction. All right, and so basically that's what we're looking at here. We're looking at a much more complex correction, which we can expect that. But the bigger this is made, the more convinced I am that this is looking pretty good here. I think this is looking pretty good. So I'm personally looking for downside here for this week coming. Okay, not down forever, but down here to this area, but anywhere between 44 and 42K. And then I'd like to see a reversal back to the upside. Now, it's not going to happen. That's not going to happen this week. Okay, so I'm just looking for the downside this week, most likely. And then I'm looking for the upside in the following weeks to come. That would take more time to develop. It would take 2 to 3 weeks for that wave to develop the way I've got it drawn there. Okay? Now, it could go up a lot faster. It could go up in one day, very, very fast. I don't know what the market makers have in store, okay? But the way I have it drawn right here, just like this, it would that's the 17th of January, okay? 17th to the 20th of January getting developed there. So we understand that things take time, okay? This is an idea, and this is a far out. So right now, this wave to the downside, so basically what we're looking for, we'll zoom in a little closer, look for the invalidations of that particular count. I like this count. I don't like the initial wave here, except that it could be a leading diagonal. Okay, so I'm looking at this as a possible leading diagonal wave. Okay, right there where we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right there, done. And then we got a 3-wave pullback to the trend line. You'll notice that this bottom trend right here. Okay, we just got a 3-wave pullback to it. Now we might get one more spike to that high, or it could be done and on its way down now. It's hard to tell. We might get one more spike to the high, or down we go. Time is going to tell here pretty soon. I wouldn't be surprised to see that spike to the high. There's been a lot of double testing of the tops and like that. Or I'd just like to see this come on and start trending down to the downside overnight and into tomorrow. That would be fantastic. And then this wave just to start developing over the next week to the downside. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not probably. I mean, it could, but most likely it's going to start trending down to the downside on the time frames, and we'd be looking for it to make a 5-wave impulse to the down our lower targets. However, we do have counts that say, hey, it could make a 3-wave instead of 5 waves. It could make a larger 3-wave move, but either way, that puts us trending to the downside over the next week. All right, that's my favorite idea for you guys. That's my favorite idea. In light of that, let's look at the rest of the market and see if the rest of the market kind of correlates with that. Let's see if it has a similar pattern, okay? All right, so you'll notice here, this is Ethereum. Let's go to the 2-hour chart here. There we go. Lots of stuff going on this chart, I know, but the fibs are my target zones here. The way I'm looking at Ethereum right now is I've got a 3-wave move first, and then I've got this 3-wave move there. So I'm going to call this W. We're going to call this X. Now we're looking for this 3-wave move to finish down here for Y. Now, it seems that this would want to come up and to come up and make another high, right? But I don't like the structure here, except that this would be a W, X, and then a Y wave right there. So that's possible. So we could have W, X, and then a Y like that. It could come up to higher targets before it heads down. That's a possibility, or it's done now. It's threatening to come down now. If you look on the smaller time frame, 15-minute chart, you'll notice this trend line that I have drawn here. We are currently testing that trend line right now. We're watching to see if we're going to get rejection off of it to the upside, or is this going to break to the downside and keep rocking? Okay, I could draw that line. It's been threatening, just depending on how you draw this line, right? It's been threatening over here to do so. So we'll have to wait and see. But if it breaks this line to the downside, that's going to be a good sign. Now, if I redraw this like this, a little bit more precise here. We have already broken, and then we retested. Okay, found resistance, and now we're heading back down. Okay, so that's a possibility as well. We are retesting this particular trend line now. Well, let's see if I can get that drawn. This smaller trend line here was testing that to see if we can break that and get continuation to the downside. So that's the way I'm looking at it. So that's really looking good to correlate with Bitcoin. So if this comes down, as I've got it drawn here, if this starts trending down, and then that's going to be right in line with what I'd expect Bitcoin to do. So Bitcoin, we're looking for this. Let's go back to the 1 hour chart. We're looking for this, this 5-wave move to the downside, and that would correlate. Ethereum would correlate nicely here with that. Let's look at ADA. ADA didn't play out at all. I thought it was the clearest chart last week. Turned out my interpretation was indeed wrong of that, and so we've had to readjust. Not readjust. We've had to adjust what we were looking at, and I'll show you what I'm seeing here on ADA for now. Again, as new information comes in, I always say I have the right to adjust my opinion of it. Here I am. I'm just doing my very best to interpret the market as it comes in. Okay, and at the end of the day, we make adjustments as the market gives us new information. So we didn't get to the break of the downside like we were expecting last week. We got a break to the upside instead. Okay, and I thought, well, man, that really kind of messed me up a little bit. It messed me up in the sense that I was really thinking that out of all the charts, ADA was the most likely to break down and really was telling the tale for the crypto market. But evidently I was wrong about that. But I still see a triangle in here, okay? But I had to adjust where the triangle was made, okay? So I still see a triangle right in there. And I think that was right of me to see, except I started the triangle back here, and I was looking at this as the triangle with a downside move, okay? And so I was looking at this as a fourth wave. I think this still is a fourth wave, but it got more complex on us. We got a 3-wave up. We got the triangle right there, okay? And now we're getting the finished move to the upside. This is an A, B, and a C, which I have delineated on the chart for you right there. Now, are we done? Did we finish that? And this is always the question. It's always one of the harder questions. Did we finish right here? That's possible. That's a 1-to-1 extension, okay? That's a 1-to-1 extension. Or do we have this upward wave to go on one more high to hit, and then we come down? Well, time will tell. Time will tell. But either way, I don't think that we're going up a whole lot more. It kind of feels to me like this is just a fake out to the downside, currently speaking, right now in the market, that we're probably going to get this one more wave to the upside before it comes down. But I think we're going to get this wave here. And again, that same wave, whether in Bitcoin we get a spike to the high first before we come down, or we come down right now, which time will tell. In Ethereum, whether we get the spike to the high first and then down, or just down now, time will tell. Or in ADA, do we get the spike to the high, or do we just come down now? Again, time will tell. So either way, I'm looking for either the spike to the high and then down, or I'm looking for down from where we are, from this region now. And we're going to come down and make lower lows, and we're going to finally hit our lower targets of $1.10 to even potentially 77 cents. I think that's kind of a low target there. But nevertheless, ADA could hit it. I think $1.10 to $1 is much more likely for ADA. So I see that much more, this area right here, just to hit to the low, break this liquidity, and then what I would expect after that is a kind of a pretty good rocket ship to the upside, and that would give us basically the same move we've been looking at across the market. Okay, so it's a nice ADA trade coming to the upside, but I don't think this was it. I don't think that was it, the beginning of it. Now, if it is the beginning of it, then we're looking for 3 waves pullback and then a continuation instead of 5 waves to break the low. So either way, I'm still looking for this to come up and then come down, whether it comes down in 3 waves, okay, and corrects this wave here and then continues to the upside, or it comes down in 5 waves, breaks the low, takes out the liquidity, and then reverses. Either way, I think they're very plausible ideas that would play out beautifully in the market. Okay, let's take a peek at XRP. I think a lot of people are interested in XRP. Yeah, so XRP is kind of one of those waves that look more like it needs to kind of go hit the high first. It needs to kind of go up here and hit the high first. Looking at XRP like this, I had to change my count a bit. I'm looking at A, B, and now C. I think C is finished. But now what I think it needs to do is I need a 3-wave move right here and then to the downside. You can see I've already drawn that in another in another video for someone else, for the other group. But that's kind of the way I see that. This is most likely, and if XRP is telling the story, then more than likely we're going to get a spike to the high with Bitcoin and Ethereum and ADA. We're going to get that spike if this is telling the tale. If I'm correct about this, I might not be correct at all. This may just roll over and continue on down, which is fine. Again, just ideas I'm offering. Guys, that's all we ever do is I offer ideas. You have to learn how to trade with good risk management. Hey, with that said, that reminds me of our Discord, guys. Love to have you in the Discord. If you want to be a part of that, come on. I'll give you the last month of December free. Email me at jimofalltrades7, jimofalltrades7 at gmail.com. I'll give you the last month of Discord free. You can do it one of 2 ways. You can email me, and I'll talk to you about how to get in, or just become a Patreon member. And trust me, that at the first of the month, I will refund your December payment. Because basically, when you join Patreon, they will bill you right now for the month of December, and then they'll bill you on January 1st for the month of January. And what I'll do is once they bill you for January, which is the month you'll be paying for, I'll go back and refund what you paid in December once they bill you for January. And there you go. You'll have had a week free in the Discord. So if you want to join now before the end of the year, be glad to have you. You're welcome to come on in. I always do that special at the end of the month where you get the end of the month free. So if you want to do that, come on. We give daily updates, 2 lives every day, with the exception of Christmas. I didn't work yesterday, and in fact, the whole group was pretty quiet. A couple of guys in there playing around, but other than that, we were all enjoying our families. And but we're back at it, guys. We're back at it, normal schedule now, and we'll be back at it till the end of the year, and we'll keep on rocking. So with that said, back to the business here. We'll help you in the Discord if you need to learn how to trade this with low risk, but low risk and good reward, high reward, high probability setups. That's what we're talking about. We'd love to have you in the Discord. So anyway, looking at XRP, are we going to get that spike to the high, or is it just going to roll over and continue down? It would appear to me that either is plausible and either could happen. XRP feels like it needs to go up first, but I can't make that call. Right now, I am short until the waves say, hey, Jim, you don't need to be short any longer. You should probably be looking for another entry short later, or looking for a long. So we'll have to see what the wave structures give us. But right now, this is looking good to the downside here. We'd be looking at XRP, again, to come on down in 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. Okay, just like we're looking for in Bitcoin, that 5-wave move, just like we're looking for in Ethereum, that 5-wave move, just like we're looking for in ADA. So you can start to see that as I show all of these charts, you can see a plausible 5-wave move down to the downside on all of these charts would make sense. Whether it plays out or not, we'll see. Yeah, I think, let's see. I think there are a couple others that you guys would be interested in, and let me just take a quick moment to look at that. Luna, I think people are interested in Luna. Luna's been a bear for a lot of people, but a bull for a lot of people, but a bear for people trying to catch the top of that guy. She's about finished, guys. She's about finished now, ready to come down, or she's going to spike to the high and then come down. We do have this wedge working right here. We do have this or triangle working right here, A, B, C, D, E maybe. A, B, C, D, E. Could be ready to spike to the high. Is Luna telling us that we're going to spike to the high, or is this going to roll over and play dead from here? Okay, that's a possibility. Either way, we're very close to the end of a wave. This wave structure right here is very close to the end of a wave, and we're expecting a much deeper correction coming soon. So whenever Bitcoin gives us that 5-wave move to the downside, we can expect Luna to follow suit. So again, the big question of the market right now is, do we get to the spike to the high, or is it coming down now? So that's the big question here. Okay, how about DOT? A lot of people are interested in DOT. DOT's looking fairly finished here as well. Might have a little bit more upside to go, but it's looking fairly cooked here. Let me show you what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a 3-wave move here. Boom, boom, boom. This looks close to finished. This might not be totally done right up here at the top, but it's looking pretty decently done for sure. I'll give you a secret here. On the 2-hour chart, draw the trend line. Shoot, on the 1-hour chart, you got a nice trend there on the 1-hour chart. On the 1-hour chart, draw that trend line. When you get a break of that to the downside, that might be a decent signal. A decent signal to be thinking about taking a short, maybe. You may get a move to the downside like this, and then one more spike to the high like that, and then down. So watch out for that. Okay, but DOT is looking pretty decent for the downside as well. Got a nice 3-wave move here, looking to finish this. Come on down and make a lower low. Or at minimum, if it's not a 3-wave move, if that was an ending diagonal, then this is the first wave of a new move. We would expect a 3-wave move back and then continuation. Either way, looking for a down wave coming to a chart near you. Okay, let's see. Let's look at how about how about Shiba? I think a lot of people are shilling on Shiba there. You can see that we've kind of come down and touched this area. Similar chart to DOT here, where we have a potential flat work. Oh, come on, Jim. Potential flat working right here, where we might get one more spike to the high and then down, or we finished. This was the spike to the high. Now we've got a 3-wave pullback, and now we're looking for continuation to the downside. Whether we get a 3-wave move, just a 3-wave move like this that turns around and goes up, or this comes down, breaks the lows, and then goes up. Same move though, guys. All the charts are pointing to that last move down, the best I can tell, whether it's smaller or bigger depending on the chart that we're looking at. Okay, let's take a peek at the DXY as well, just to get an overview. What's the DXY doing here? DXY is moving as expected here. Let me show you what I'm seeing here in the DXY. So the DXY came down as an impulse or 3 waves. I can't tell there. That's either 3 waves there. So boom, boom. It's going to be 2 waves either way. So here and then there. And then we've got this much more complex wave right there. Okay. All right. Now this wave kind of matched this wave right here. This wave is finishing. I need DXY to come down one more hit to the low, most likely one more hit to the low, and this is going to be an overarching 3-wave move like this with continuation to the upside. When DXY does this move right here, okay, that's when BTC is going to do this move. This move to the downside, okay? So they're going to happen together. All right. So does that mean we're going to get that spike to the high? Maybe. So if DXY is spiking down to the low, we could expect on the rest of the market that spike to the high that we were looking at. Again, I don't know if we're going to get it or not. I can't say whether we're going to get that spike to the high or not. But it's the big question of the chart right now. And I can't say which. But if you get the spike to the high, don't FOMO into it long. You should be looking for a short instead at the top of it somewhere whenever it turns around. It's just going to be a spike. It's going to get up there, probably entice some longs, collect some liquidity, and then go on down to those lower targets like we were expecting. Okay, so DXY is looking about the same, kind of the same structure, kind of giving us the same look here. So everything's looking good. Let's look at the SPX as well. SPX, if I can find it, there it is, which is the S&P 500 index there. Oh man, what a chart here! What a chart! Yeah, I mean, I'm having a hard time with this particular chart. I'm not sure what's going on here. We haven't broken the top here. This could be a three-wave move. This could be a three down, a three up. We could get another move to the downside like this. 3, 3, 5, and then we could go spike again. So we might be due for some downside movement coming soon to a chart near you. Okay, it might be good for some down movement, like we're expecting in Bitcoin, like we're expecting across all the other charts, all on the larger time frames, looking for a down move. Okay, and then after that, looking for a large move to the upside, which would be following that. So I think I think S&P is following that as well. I think everything's looking good for this down move first, and then an up move after that. Exactly where it goes and how it goes, we'll have to just play that by ear as that wave develops, right? But that gives you a shape to look for on the chart, an idea, a liquidity zone to watch out for. I don't know that you need to trade this move or that move, but you're looking for the short, or you're looking for this long. That's a nice one to play once this finishes. Looking for a long, or once this finishes, looking for another short again after that plays out. If those ideas play out. Let's see if they do. We have to see how the end of the year plays out, guys. I don't know what the market makers are planning on, guys. It's generally a low liquidity week. The big boys aren't doing a lot of trading here, so it's usually a time to take money from retail traders. So please understand that the market could go a lot more sideways than I anticipate and you anticipate. So keep that in mind. Lots of up and down, lots of stop hunts, lots of choppy wave action. Happens a lot during these time frames now, so just be aware of it. Okay. So anyway, with that said, thanks for joining us tonight on Sunday Night Charts. Even though this was a premiere, I'm sure that I've enjoyed being with you guys as you're watching it with me live for the first time. And if you're enjoying your family and missing and just catching the recording, thanks for joining in, and thanks for making me a success this year. I'm almost at 9,700 subscribers. I need 300 subscribers to go. 300 to go to hit that 10,000 subscriber mark. So that's kind of cool. I don't know if I'm going to make that in a week's time. Probably won't. But anyway, we're having fun giving it a go anyway. All right. You guys have a great night. Thanks for joining me on the channel. Merry Christmas to you. Bye-bye.